For being my viewer, get 50% cashback or up to rupees 200 by using the code Sanjay on air while booking QFX movie ticket on Khalti app. This offer is valid for the first 1,000 users, so use it right away. How do you make everybody happy? Let's say you have, how many studios do you have in there?
25.
25.
25 artists
Are all the artists happy? त्यो ह्याप्पिनेसको लेभल पनि एउटा हुन्छ नि होइन किनभने अब सबैजनालाई त सबै थोक त ऊ प्रोभाइड गर्न त सकिँदैन होला.
I'm not here to give them happiness. I'm just here to give them a platform. To be happy or not to be happy is up to them. I give them a space where they can have a little bit of freedom to work. And if they're happy, they're happy, you know. And
What other challenges do you have? Yeah, I'm just trying to understand. You have so many different artists working in one space, right? So many different, different styles.
we work with nearly about 200-300 artists.
There you go. Challenges पनि त कतै न कतैबाट होइन. I'm sure you have challenges to face individually working with all of them.
A challenge, of course, I cannot buy all the artwork. And only an artwork down, sir. Most of people do expect for me to buy, but of course I cannot buy all the artwork. And so that is actually one of the biggest challenges that Nepalma chani art patrons are China, and that is really sad. If you look at our culture, the whole, especially Kathmandu, तपाईँको चाहिँ काठमाडौँको जति पनि मन्दिरहरू चाहिँ छ नि, it was never built by a government. It was always built by communities, by गुठी संस्थानहरूले. So there was a lot of patronage before. But suddenly there is no patrons of art now. The reason that हाम्रो टेम्पल्सहरू, हाम्रो चाहिँ मन्दिरहरू चाहिँ अहिलेसम्म चाहिँ नि बसेको कारण चाहिँ किनभने चाहिँ बिकज अल द गुठीजहरू गर्दाखेरि हो नि, होइन. अब चाहिँ तपाईले चाहिँ अहिलेको जेनेरेसनमा चाहिँ नि आर्ट पेट्रन्सहरू भनेकै देखेको छैन मैले. इन होल अफ काठमाडौँमा चाहिँ नि मैले चाहिँ मेबी 6-7 जना who really are like, oh, art is important, हामीले चाहिँ आर्ट किन्नुपर्छ, हामीले चाहिँ आर्टलाई चाहिँ आर्टिस्टहरूलाई चाहिँ बचाउनुपर्छ भन्ने चाहिँ नि त्यतिजना मात्रै हो. Most of the people when they come to the art house, and I think Bishesh also faces the same kind of challenges because he's also helping me with the art, is the first question they ask is मैले चाहिँ यो आर्ट आज किने भन्छ नि 2 वर्षपछि चाहिँ यसको भ्यालु कति हुन्छ भन्छ. So they look at art totally on an investment perspective.
जग्गा किने जस्तै हैन. And I can understand because आफ्नो पैसा आफूले चाहिँ नि पसिना चुहाएको पैसा चाहिँ नि खर्च गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ नि it has to have a value. ROI चाहियो.
ROI त चाहियो हैन. And everybody, हैन. I can understand that aspect as well. तर आर्टलाई चाहिँ नि that is where the education comes in. Why is यदि चाहिँ नि हामीले चाहिँ नि गुठीको मान्छेहरूले चाहिँ नि यो मन्दिर किन चाहियो र, बरु यो मन्दिरको चाहिँ जग्गाबाट चाहिँ अहिले चाहिँ करोड रुपियाँ आइरहेको छ, त्यो बेचेर चाहिँ बरु हामी सबैले पैसा लिए भइहाल्यो भने पनि त हुन्थ्यो. त्यो भनेको भए चाहिँ हाम्रो चाहिँ रिलिजन, हाम्रो कल्चर कहाँ पुग्थ्यो होला. सो आर्ट र कल्चरको चाहिँ एजुकेसन अलिकति नपुगेको भनेको होला. पिपल डोन्ट अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड द्याट दे आर नट जस्ट बाइङ अ पिस अफ आर्ट, दे आर प्रोटेक्टिङ देयर कल्चर भन्ने चाहिँ यो एजुकेसन चाहिँ गयो भने चाहिँ नि I think there will be more patrons. So one thing that we've started to do in Monama Chani, so we created a small organization. It's called SAP, Society of Art Patrons. So we are now creating patrons. So how are we creating patrons? We've identified about 100-150 people who are going to be successful in another 5 to 10 years. So these 100 to 150 people who we've selected are young people like you and I. I'm not that young, but like you guys. I'm 52. So these people have decided to stay back in Nepal. Struggle it out, and they've got the small companies here and there that they're working, and we are introducing art to them. Okay? So we don't expect them to start buying art right away, but if we start introducing them to art today, in 5 to 10 years' time, when they become millionaires, they will start buying art.
Yeah,
That
no
is
doubt.
where we need to start. So that was a very long-term vision of how we said, because I got sick and tired of trying to tell people, especially the rich people, why is art important? Art किन्नु पर्छ. I say art के किन्न, art किन्न म रोलेक्सहरु किन्छु भन्ने मान्छेहरु पनि छन्. हैन? So I got fed up with that aspect. So I said, let's try this. Because these are the people who stayed back to Nepal. When I said they have some love for their country, for their culture, for their heritage. But उनलाई चाहिँ बिस्तारै बिस्तारै चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ आर्टलाई इन्ट्रोड्युस गर्यो भने चाहिँ another 5 to 10 years they'll start buying art. They'll become patrons. We will give them so realistically भन्दाखेरि पनि चाहिँ yes, आज चाहिँ नि हामीले चाहिँ आर्ट किन्यो भने चाहिँ another 5 to 10 years मा चाहिँ the art value त definitely बढी हुन्छ. So it's a good investment for you as well.
यसमा पनि अब like there's a small thin line that we need to always manage के फेरि दाइ. It's like you can't just start commodifying it. Like promote गर्ने भन्दैमा हामीले commodify गर्न थाल्यो and that's exactly where it loses its value फेरि. त्यो पनि हुन्छ के दाइ. त्यसले गरेर चाहिँ when you're going about it, how you depicting it भन्ने चाहिँ is a big part of it. हुन्छ नि दाइ. Like because alternate asset class भनेर. Like for example, let's talk in finance sense यसमा हैन दाइ. अब you look at gold, silverहरु मान्छेले किन्छ नि. But actually if you look at the long term graph of it, it's not really like commodity मा पैसा हाल्नु भनेको त्यस्तो lucrative हुँदैन. The only reason why people they do it is because it offers diversification.
And it's a safer bet too.
Right.
That's what people think.
Right. हजुर. So this is no one's saying art should be your biggest money maker and you're going to be like हुन्छ नि 10xing on your returns with art, but it's an alternate asset class which moves very different to how the market moves. Of course, some market forces ले गरेर issue नै हुन्छ. Like अहिले liquidity crisis छ, सबै पैसै छैन भनेपछि everything's distressed. त्यो त्यस्तो त छ, but like it's moves very different to other assets. Okay, so just to hedge your bets, पनि it makes some sense.
This program is brought to you by Vyas Studios.
Thank you very much for supporting the podcast so far. And if you want to see more content, more shows, then make sure that you subscribe to our channel.